Hi guys, welcome back. So England get the win they need, 1917, but this was England's most experienced 23 ever, up against a pretty much scratch Welsh team with a point to prove for sure under the young captain Dewey Lake. They'll actually be a bit disappointed they didn't win this one. I mean, they weren't expected to, away from home with a scratch team. So yeah, it's a bit of a hit out to nothing, but they still had a great chance to win, especially with England down so many players. So they'll be a bit disappointed, but we haven't seen the main Welsh team out yet, the first choice Welsh team, so I don't think it's too much for a problem, even though I'm not sure Gatland could have got too much from that game either. England, however, I think we can draw a bit more on this game because that is very close to the side they'll be playing, I think, in the World Cup. And if you haven't already, please enter the giveaway below for some cool rugby artwork, just like behind me here. The winner will get to send in their own picture or any picture they want, and Blair Skivington will turn it into a cool piece of artwork. So please subscribe, click on that link below to enter. That would be awesome. I'll draw it just before the World Cup starts. Anyway, into this match. And straight away we see a bit of over-eagerness from the Welsh. The Ospreys front row there, just a few times too eager to engage, giving away a few free kicks. A little note at the beginning, you could see the England pack had been in pre-season. They were looking pretty massive, to be fair. Laws looking as muscular as I've ever seen him. He had a good game, actually. Turns England's line out into a really deadly weapon, with George hitting his targets and Itoje and Laws jumping. It really helped, and that line out was probably their biggest strength of the game. So that's good to see for England. It's a platform. Not that they did much with it, but anyway, Billy V was kind of doing his stuff, trucking it up, and the big forwards kind of doing their thing. So, decent signs from the beginning, but England's go-to tactic was maybe a little negative, if effective actually. The spiral bomb, difficult to deal with, but anyway, sometimes there was a few decent kicks from Farrell, but Daly a couple of dodgy ones early on, especially considering he's there for his kicking. But Daly did slip a few tackles, had an okay game, certainly the best of the two wingers, but we'll come to that. On 7 minutes, again, more signs of over-eagerness. This time Plumtree just too keen to play the ball when it's not out of the ruck, and a needless offside from Lydiate, so they're just shooting themselves in the foot, Wales there, giving an easy 3 points to Farrell, who kicked well at goal. Comes a bit different for Farrell later in the game, but we'll get to that. And England were looking a bit more composed, as you'd expect from all those experienced players. Wales just a little bit more frantic, a bit too keen to impress. On 11 minutes, England's best player comes to the fore for the first time, Ben Earl. What a great player he is. Just looks like a pair of tights stuffed with walnuts. He's got such a great build on him, and he's explosive and good hands, good in the ruck, good in the carry. Is he England's starting seven? What a big statement from him, to be fair. Anyway, he disrupts a ruck there, a good counter ruck, seeing some backs in the ruck, just making it a shaky start for Wales, and England just starting to build a little bit early in the first half. Some breaks from JVP, Farrell even making a half break, but no end product, and that was the story of the match. Ben Earl looking really dangerous, but no end product. 16 minutes, Wales finally get their first shift of momentum on their side. Big smash tackle from Dewey Lake on Stewart, and then chase of Zinzanbrook from the New Zealand extraction Tame Plumtree kicks the ball to a 50-22. You won't see many number 8s doing that. Good kick from Plumtree, although his hands actually let him down in this game. So a bit of both sides of his game there. Definitely a talent. And then a really good chance from the maul for Wales. But another big positive for England, to be fair to them, their maul defence was excellent. They really snuffed out a lot of Wales's chances. And again, a bit messy in the scrum from Wales. So not a great start from them. But that was that first just little hint of class from Dewey Lake, and then from Tame Plumtree. Just gets Wales slightly on the front foot. And another note here, about 20 minutes in, and I said I haven't seen England's backs used at all, and to be fair, that was pretty much the same all game. I thought Marchand actually looked pretty good, keen to unlock the defence, but they really didn't give that ball wide at all. Arundel might as well not be playing, and he tried not to play as well later on. Anyway, Dewey Lake and that Welsh line out, about 20 minutes in, is starting to look pretty messy, and that continued. That line-out didn't function at all for Wales, but again, this isn't their starting team yet, but it was a tough watch for the Welsh line-out. And then Dewey Lake's afternoon really gets worse as an injury forces him off early, so not a great line-out, and the injury. Hopefully he's okay, but not a good afternoon for him. About half an hour in now, and it's very conservative from England, kind of what we're expecting. And just as they get something going again, I think this looks quite good. Up goes the bomb again. England, they're definitely on top, but they're not really doing anything particularly exciting with it. It's okay, but is it going to worry the best teams in the world? No, it's not. Then on 31 minutes, the first of the crazy things from England. There were about 3 really daft things. Arundel this time, it's a tap kick from Williams from a mark. You've got to let him go 10. He obviously knows that, and he decides to tackle him after about 1 or 2 metres. Just a nuts decision. I don't know why he didn't do that. He's quick enough just to chase him back 10 metres, then tackle him. So ridiculous stuff. Yellow card. And Jack Van Portfleet goes off with a nasty-looking ankle injury. Might we see Alex Mitchell back in if he's out for the World Cup? So it's Youngs and Farrell on the old stages. And it takes over 32 minutes for Wales to finally get some decent attack phases going. And to be fair, it looks like they've got some ambition to go, but they just, again, they can't get the end impact. But Tompkins and Liam Williams are looking tricky. Liam Williams, easily their best back. Class operator, I always say he's their best 15, and he's looking good here. So he's 100% starting 15 for me. England's forward pack, though, is looking strong. Billy Vunipola trucking it up, bread and butter stuff. Laws looking strong, Earl looking strong. Front row was okay. Scrum wasn't great. If this is England's best scrummaging front row, I think we're going to be in trouble versus the best scrums in the world. But I'd say the back 5 look fairly decent. Anyway, 2 minutes to go before half-time, and finally a decent chance for England from the line out, but then there's nothing much outside that. They are down to 14 men, to be fair, but that maul pressure is starting to tell. You think England should really score here, pouring on the power, multiple Welsh penalties, clock in the red, and they take the 3 points. Fair enough, if unambitious, so 6-0. And Owen Farrell, just right here, uses every second of the minute to kick to try and run out that yellow card. Liam Williams gets a bit annoyed with this, so gets reacquainted with him and Marler on the way in. There's so little going on in the game that was worth writing about. And 6-0 pretty much exactly reflects the quality of the game. Then the second half starts and it gets colourful. Not the quality of the play, just the number of cards. Rafael straight away in there. A little unlucky to get penalised, but the cumulative penalties from the first half the ref hasn't forgot, which is good refereeing, I guess, but it's a yellow card for Rafael. That's a bit painful. So 9-0, decent lead for England. But then Wales get a scrum penalty, bit of a carousel spin from the scrum. Wales get the nod 9-3. And just a note on Tane Plumtree's day, he's clearly a very talented rugby player, but he had some bad handling errors today, won't help his cause, and then he had to go off with a shoulder injury, so a bad day for him, a bad day for Dewey Lake. On 46 minutes, make a note here that Laws is world class in that line out, really helping England, stealing, causing havoc, and some sloppy ruck secure from England though blows another gold-plated opportunity. A hint of an overlap, and then Farrell just slithers the ball, drops it cold, so I don't think anyone's going to execute today, and I think there was one execution from Wales, but that when England was down to 12, 13 players, something like that. Mass changes for Wales. Dan Biggar is on. Can he be the spark? And then on 51 minutes, hold the phone, we actually get a decent England attacking phase. Huge handoff from Lawrence. Bernal twice in the back line. What a great player. I mean, he is looking like England's starting 7 if they actually want an all-rounder who can attack as well. Good big build-up, but Billy Vunipola just slow to the ruck. Great turnover from Wales' best player, Liam Williams. Like I said, definitely the first choice 15. People were saying maybe Halfpenny should start after the last game, and I was always saying no, Liam Williams, and this is why. And just a note here, on 56 minutes, Henry Arundel goes off, having done absolutely nothing apart from the yellow card. To be fair, once again, the ball was never passed to him in space. What is the point playing him? But yeah, not a good day for Arundel again for England. Yeah, and another note, England's best so-called scrummaging front row, best called by me, concedes a couple of penalties in a row. But I do like Ellis Genge coming on. He did make some good impact in the game, but then he cops a yellow card, but that's for multiple penalties, so not massively his fault, but a bit painful there. and Wales surge up to 1 metre out from the penalty to the line out, but can't get over. So Wales change tactic. Dan Biggar with a big cross-field kick, and until this point Freddie Stewart had a good game, but then crazy decision, just decides to attack Arundel in the air. Don't know what he's thinking, just like Arundel, just a nuts decision from a back three. It goes to the TMO, and it was obviously going to be a yellow card and penalty try. So 9-10 to Wales. England down to 13 men now, and taking advantage of that very wisely, Wales start to cut loose, chuck the ball about, starting from a wicked sidestep from that man Liam Williams, but Wales spill that ball forward. Lots of handling errors from Wales. They'll be gutted by that. And then we have the Farrell moment, the classic Farrell shoulder barge high tackle, but it's not really a tackle, it's a shoulder barge. I've done whole videos on this before. It's a choice. Farrell does this. He leads with the shoulder, he stands upright, and you're going to risk red cards. And once again, that's what happens. It's after a bunker review, but it was pretty much always going to be a red. The ref kind of just saved himself the bother, saved a bit of time by referring it. So I think that's how the bunker should work. But I mean, we could do another video on it, but it's Farrell's choice. Rugby league background, I don't know what it is. He just wants to smash people, tucks his arm in, so it's a shoulder barge, stands upright, you're going to get red cards. Completely his choice. I'm not going to go on. 64 minutes. Youngs hammers it downfield, but England are down to so few players now. Biggar just sucks in Lawrence. Lawrence can't chase back, not particularly quick. Huge numbers for Wales, and Thomas Williams races away, so they took advantage of the numbers, and it's looking like it could get messy at this point with so few players on the pitch for England. 9-17. But then from this point, this is where England need to make or break. And to be fair, good character comes surging back, lures the man with a big turnover. Then obviously they're going to maul it with 12 players. And yes, they do. And they just chuck everyone in. That's the tactic. And they get the try, vital try from Itoje. 16-17, good conversion from Ford out wide. And England get Genge back, they get Stewart back, but yeah, and then Farrell stays off with the red. So they've got 14 against 15, so still advantage Wales, you would think. The crowd is buzzing at this point just because it's an interesting game with all these cards flying around. And England are starting to come back into it to wake up Ben Earl again, revving up the crowd. What a great game he had. But Wales, again, that line-out descends into a bit of a farce. This time, no one jumping. That Wales line-out was pretty awful. And England go to their main tactic, the spiral bomb, which again works, puts him in a great position. Big scrum this time. Earl surges off the base, England's best forward by miles. Crossfield kick, and Marchand looks like he's got it with a Superman dive to score. That would have been cool. Can't quite get it. That's a bit of a shame. But back for a penalty. Cumulative penalties, yellow card for Beard, so many cards in this game. England slot the penalty, and why wouldn't you, to get that lead, 19-17. And oh dear, Wales could have won this match if it wasn't for all these cold fumbles. But to be fair, decent heart from England to fight back from 12 men and get the lead again. And all the momentum's with England. They finish well. English scrum marmalises the Welsh pack to finish on. The English line-out is looking rock solid. They wind the clock down, get that win, celebrate the win. But again, this was England's most experienced side ever, just getting over the line against a scratch Welsh team. So take from that what you will. Hopefully I've brought up a few points there. For England, there's a bit of a basis to work from. Line-out's looking good. I think they've found some players there. Certainly Ben Earl really standing up. Law's making a huge difference. Billy V just doing the solid stuff. Itoje looking good. I quite like the way round the front rows go, say with Marler and Stewart starting and Genge coming on, but I'm not sure we're going to be dominant in the scrum. We just have to hold out, to be honest. But at least there's impact with Genge coming on. So there's a basis of a pack there. Farrell, he's going to get banned. That's a bit of an issue, or a lot of an issue. They didn't use their backs at all. Some of them might as well not have been there. Marchant's a great player. They didn't use him. Arundel didn't even get the ball in his hands in attack. So it's looking like a fairly boring game plan at the moment, but maybe the pack's there. But they're going to have to be miles better to threaten any decent sides, certainly to threaten Argentina in that first game. For Wales, you know, it's a decent enough effort, I guess, but they probably should have won with England being down so many players, but so many drops for Wales. But again, a scratch team, not going to judge them on this. When we get their first choice team out, maybe next week we'll see. that's the time to judge them, I think. For England, a starting point, but need to get much better. I'll probably come back with a bit of a player analysis later on, maybe tomorrow. But let me know what you guys thought. Is this a good start for England or not? Are Wales going to be disappointed or not? All those comments below, and I'll catch you next time.